Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO TED Talks, Devoted Talks, depending on how you want to say it, where we take ancient wisdom and practices through a modern lens and experience to help you and those you love in suffering in your personal and greater worlds alike. And I am excited to be here with you. I haven't recorded a DIVO TED Talk in a while. I have been on a break. I had a holiday, and then I've been doing projects at home and getting the studio ready. And so there's just been a lot going on. So I'm excited to be here with you. Sorry, I may seem slightly distracted because my microphone has never turned red when I'm talking. So I think it's signaling that my voice is too loud. So I'm going to move the microphone away. That seems to be helping. I don't know. Anyway, there's been a lot on my mind, and I've had so many good things come out of my mouth and come out of my mind and my head since I started teaching again on Sunday. I took 9-ish days off, although not all of them were off because, when you own a business, it's 365. But it is, notwithstanding, sorry, I got distracted again. Because I'm waiting on the HVAC guy. So there's just a lot going on, right? Things are going sideways and other things are resolving and other things are doing this and that. And what I can say is that I recognize where I made a poor choice. Like I went too long and pushed too hard for too many straight weeks, and I just pulled the plug on my energy. Like it just really just sat me completely dry. And of course, not only did I do that, but then I also gave myself the hardest June that I have ever had in my life, let alone since the business opened. So there's a lot to it, and I'm very happy about that. But I didn't plan well because I have been reactionary and I have been reacting to the things that are happening in life, much like the HVAC, much like the furnace, just stuff in general is all kinds of weird, and I refuse, although I will also sometimes call it Mercury retrograde. But the fact of the matter is, whatever it is, I am still reacting. It doesn't matter what the cause was, the precipitation that was the precipitation of these experiences and these outcomes. It's still here, and I'm still reacting in whatever ways I'm reacting. And so I wish that sometimes I could just record my yoga classes, because sometimes just in the moment I just come out with really good stuff, and I'm already starting to fatigue out. Right? It's Wednesday. I started teaching again on Sunday, and I can feel the fatigue from the routine already starting to drag, which will be good because it is summer. It's just a little bit more lax. So I am getting some house projects done. I did a lot during my break, which is really good because I knew that my house being disorganized was causing me to feel even less than prepared for my weeks, but I didn't have any extra energy to give towards it. And so I had to make the decision to not go home to Maryland to see family, because it was more important for the long run, for the long game, for the whole story, that I get this work stuff done around the house, which I'm still doing. And I know that I would be better prepared to handle what's coming up at work and better prepared to travel to Maryland if I did it well, did it right, and I did it fully. And so I am still finishing that up, but it's also opening me up to other projects that I hadn't thought of. And I just had some spare time, and I ripped out weeds this morning, and it was good. And so it's like the metaphor of the tabs open on your browser for your computer. I have 15 million open, and I'm trying to spread out all of my awareness and my intention and my attention among all of the different tabs. And it's a losing battle. And so I also know that I'm the type of person that I can't start a project halfway and then just leave it sit there very well. I can do some things. So I needed extended periods of time with the ability to relax to allow me to get stuff done. Because one other thing that I have trouble with, and this is part of being a kapha in Ayurveda, right? It's hard for me to shift gears completely. Like if I'm teaching mode, I'm teaching mode. If I'm recording mode, I'm recording mode. If I'm cleaning mode, I am cleaning mode. If I am repairing mode, I'm in repairing mode. And so for me, I need to just keep moving in one direction. Sometimes you'll notice that like my Monday ones sometimes are a little bit less than my the Wednesday and Friday ones because I get my feet underneath of me as I'm talking. It creates momentum in a particular direction, and it is no different for all of my other responsibilities day in and day out. So, all of that being said, I am excited to talk with you guys today and just reflect on the need for changing your scenery, changing your routine, changing your stuff. Now, too much changing vitiates vata, but not enough change vitiates kapha. And then pitta, it depends on the circumstance and what we're talking about. Like if you are obsessing over something and spending too much time on something, that's not good. But if you are able to multitask too and keep it, you know, within reason, that can actually help pitta. So there's a lot of nuance here, and there's a lot of trial and error. Trial and error. I've only owned my business for, or been open with my business for a year and a half. I have done business and I have done my other things, but all of my old routines don't actually facilitate a brick and mortar. And so I have 1 year and a half of brick and mortar under my belt, and I'm getting better at it because I'm understanding it better, but I'm also understanding me and my home life in relation to the business better as time progresses. So it's a compiling and a building upon that's happening here. And so trial and error, I do things and some work and some don't, and I keep the things that do and I get rid of the things that don't. And that's really what life is, right? One of my more recent episodes that I posted, it just went up actually today, or it's going up today. It was about we are made for more because we are built to assimilate and acquire things and take it with us. And so the more time you spend with a particular task or journey, the more of you bring to it, the more you assimilate into, and the more you become like the thing that you are doing, right? This is Ayurveda. This is life. This is the nature of things, right? It's an exchange of energy, and what it is all run by is consciousness. And so the more attention you put on something, the more you bring that into you, right? We talk about the reticular activating system, which allows us to recognize these things, or we have something come into our consciousness and then we see it everywhere. It's part of that mechanism. Now, what's important here is that you are doing great. And you could have struggled all your life with whatever the story is. It doesn't matter, right? We can just write in whatever it is. You are probably thinking about something as I'm talking about it that you're like, ugh, I wish I could be better at that. Or, oh, I didn't do it again, right? It can change today, but you have to stick with it and you have to just keep showing up. Now, one of the beautiful things about my brick and mortar versus any other business thing I've done is that I have had to keep pushing it forward. I've had to keep infusing it with my consciousness and attention and intention to keep it going. Like I had to text people, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it is facilitating me doing that. Kind of like people become good parents eventually because they have to show up because the child cannot take care of themselves. My business can't take care of itself right now. It will be independent at some point, but it couldn't and won't until I get it fully fledged. And so that's what we're talking about here. Perhaps your next attempt at something is that moment that you get your feet underneath of you, right? A car doesn't start until it does, right? Something doesn't happen until it does, right? It's, I know it sounds so trite, but in yoga and Ayurveda, it really is that. It's whatever it is until it's not. That's life. That is experience. That is one of the things that as you learn it will help you be well and be free.